Hi, my name is Steve Barton. I'm here with my son Adam Barton, who owns Solid Rock Machine Shops Incorporated. We did our first YouTube video yesterday. We talked about this Acer surface grinder that we purchased. We bought it brand new. It's a 6x18. I mentioned that it was an extremely accurate machine. And today we thought we'd do a short video and show you just how accurate the work that's coming off this really is. This right here is one of my favorite tools that I use for grinding. It is a square 5x5 square by 2 1/8 inches, and you want to grind this thing so that this surface is parallel, these surfaces are parallel, these surfaces are parallel, that they're parallel and flat, and you want to grind them so that they're square with each other, because this is something that you will use in situations like this. If I have a tool that I'm working on and I want to grind this edge square and flat, parallel to this side, square with that side, I can mount this up on this cube with a couple clamps. I'd be able to set it up. I'd be able to run my indicator across, get this all trammed in real nice. Then you can bring it to the surface grinder, grind this surface, flip it up, and grind this surface. And now this block, if it's sitting on here flat, will be as square as this block. It'll be square. It'll be with these edges, with these edges, with this edge, with these edges, they'll be square. Once you have those two edges squared up, you can pull the unit off. Then you'll be able to set this on the magnet on the surface grinder and clean this side up. If your magnet's good and flat and grinder's in good shape, you can grind that. Now this side will be square with every other side that you need. Then you can pick it up and block your end and grind this surface, and that's how you can get something as square as whatever your tool is. And that's an important thing too. Your work's only going to be as good as the tools that you use. If this thing was way out, if this thing was out 5/1000ths flatness or squareness, I'm not going to get this part any closer than what this is. So we'll spend more time, spend a little bit of attention getting this in accurate. I've had this for a number of years, and I had some wear in there, so I thought that I'd set this up. One of the first things we did once we had the grinder all dialed in, I'd set this up and then I'd retrue this up, because this will be a tool that we'll use for precision work. So right now what I want to demonstrate is just how square this is. I have a little makeshift squareness checker. I made this little block right here with a hole that I can put a 1/4-20 screw that bolts down in here. I can put this Noga flex arm up over here. I got a Brown & Sharpe 50 millionths indicator. I can screw that in, make everything nice and tight, all the linkage tight. I got a washer that I ground the diameter on, so I got a real nice ground edge over here. This will set up the pivot point that I can pivot off of, and I've already preset my indicator to the block to set to 0. And theoretically, if I can come up over here and if I can pivot this block, set to 0, and then if I set this block and if I spin it around and I end up reading 0, yep, and I think I feel a little bit of dirt. That's the other important thing. Your granite table's got to be free of any grit underneath it. So yeah, let me do this again. So I can set this to 0 by pivoting and finding that high point. So we're probably less than 50 millionths plus. There, that's a lot better. Now you can see we're almost right on 0 we're within 50 millionths of an inch, and the distance is about 3.5 inches. So this cube is square within about 50 millionths. I can come to the sides and I can touch. You can see I'm reading right on zero, just a hair less, not even 50 millionths. And I can come over here, and this side's off probably the most. I'm about not even 1/10 off on that in 3.5 inches. So this block is super square. It's super flat, which we haven't checked that, but it come out super flat. And the work that we do on it will be as accurate as what this block is. One of the things I can show you, here's one of the V blocks that we made for Adam. And if you'll get a little closer, I just want to show you the finish on this V block. This is the finish that we have on our surface grinder. This is using a 46 grit wheel. This V block has come out super accurate as well. But anyhow, I made this block just so I can check and get the accuracy, and I was thinking that'd be kind of nice if I can make a unit that was specifically used like that with that Noga base, where I can use it for squareness and maybe make a few attachments. Well, anyhow, I got the idea off this Mitutoyo height gauge. We have this base right here, and that feels real nice in the hand. I like that. I like how that works. How you get the bottom set up there, it's hollowed out. I love this tool. It works real nice, real great on the granite. So I thought I would design and combine this base with this Noga arm, and so that was one of the projects we're going to work on. And so if we come over here, here's a block I got started on. I'm not finished, and I'm using the dimensions. This is the part I'm going to save. Here's the parts that I got to finish bandsawing out. I got to cut the angles off over there, and so this is the next project we're working on. I designed this up in Fusion 360. It's it's software that has CAD, CAM, and many other things in it. The CAD part of this program I'm the most familiar with. I'm not an expert with it, but I can tell you what, that is one nice piece of software. The CAD, I've ran different CAD systems in the past, and this Fusion 360 I like better than any I've run so far. But here's the base design that looks just like the Mitutoyo. I got these different holes, and if I spin this around, you can see I got tap holes where I can tap them in the side. And then I got this little unit that I can bolt on the front that's doweled in. It's got my swing for my radius. It'll have a ground edge on that. I also can make one so I got a V set in there so that we can go up against round parts and check round parts. But the Noga, the hole, or the Noga flex arm that I have over there, this part, with this stem, it'll fit in these holes. So I got a lot more adjustability, different places I can go, and we got the bottom of this. We'll have it hollowed out just like we have on the Mitutoyo base. I also will countersink these so that I can have a 1/4 inch, actually a 5/16 screw that will fit in there, 5/16 screw, so that if I want to bolt some other attachments to the top of this from the bottom, I can do that because I got some other ideas that I'm going to use with this as well. But the main thing I'll use it for is a squareness checker. Fusion 360, it's like I say, an awesome piece of software. I don't have CNC equipment other than Adam did buy a desktop CNC router. We'll use the cam cycle, the cam side of Fusion 360 to program on that. We played around with it a little bit. It works pretty nice. But here at least I can get the drawings, get them set up, and then I can take measurements right up. I don't even need a blueprint. If I need to know a measurement, I just can click over here, click that side, come over here, click that side, and right there it tells me I'm 3 inches 350. I can check all the dimensions right there. I can make changes on the fly. If I'm machining this out, something's not working right, I can come right here to the CAD station and make corrections, and then that way my drawing is always updated with my final product. So I love it. It works out great. We got this wall mount. As you get older, your eyes aren't as good, even with these progressive lenses. Seeing some of this little detail in this laptop is kind of hard. So I was mentioning this to a friend at my full-time job, Will Van Eyck, and he mentioned, well, why don't you get a monitor to set up on the wall? So I thought that was a great idea. I mentioned to my wife and daughter, and next thing I knew, they found this nice big monitor for, I think, about $45 on Craigslist. And so they bought it, put it on the wall, got it hung, and it works great. Now even with my bad eyes, I can see the different stuff real well. The Fusion 360 will probably go over some other things that we have in there in the future. We'll show you some neat stuff. If you come over here, here's a project that I'm working on with my son Michael. Instead of being a square, this is going to be a rectangle. We actually have the unfinished product bolted up on the mill. We're already using it, and I think this unit's actually going to come out handier than being square. We're also looking at some clamping devices that we're just kind of playing around with too, that we can work off of cam action. That's just something we're playing around with. Let's see. We can't get into that V-block right there because we're not online. So, anyways, in the future we'll probably show you some more that's going on with the Fusion 360 and how sweet that is. This will be it for today. We just thought we'd show you the accuracy of the grinder, and we'll gradually show you some of our tools that we use, and in the future you'll probably see us using the cube and squaring things up with that. In the future we're looking at with the grinding some of the things that we'll do. We'll show you some techniques that for grinding thin plates real flat and getting them the bow out of them and getting it done right away and easy. I'm not going to give it away now. I'll save it for the future videos. But when you see how easy it is, you'll be amazed. So that'll be it for now. If you like the video, subscribe at the bottom, and we're going to try to put up more videos in the future as time permits, and we'll see everybody later.